Well, okay, so it is finally Friday. It's finally Friday, and we are seeing the results of the experiment. Micro lesion therapy is what I'm calling it. Now, I could gaslight you all day long, like legacy media or mainstream media, and say, look, it's amazing. It worked. There's nothing left to see here, but I'm not going to do that because I want you to see what's truly happening. And as you can see, it's very faint. It's very faint, but it's still there. But I could say, no, it's not. It does not exist, but it does. It does. And so that's why I'm going to tell you that it does, because that's the point. And look at here, this one here also, it's faint, but it's still there. And you'll notice, excuse me, as we continue on this project, maybe not every day, maybe like during the week and maybe not over the weekend, we'll see. It depends. I may not be able to do these videos over the weekend. But what you're noticing is the skin looks shinier and perhaps shinier every day that I do this process. Are scars going away all the way? Not quite. Are wrinkles disappearing all the way? Not quite. But generally speaking, the skin is getting better and shinier. And in some cases, I am finding it easier to get rid of the foliage in this area here, which means an easier shave, less pain, and less ingrown hairs to deal with. So that's good. Chin, double chin, triple chin, that's still there. That's not going to go away that easily. Maybe someday, but we don't know. So we'll keep working at it. But what I wanted to say today, other than just showing you guys the general results of what's going on, as you can see, darker skin. This is my beta level skin right here. See? It got all dark and it was weaker. Everybody knows Donald Duck's face. Everybody knows who Joe Obama is. How many people know that our skin is the biggest organ in our body? Probably a few. But how many people know that our skin is not uniform? Basically that even though it is one big organ, it's not as strong in every part. For instance, as you can see, I put the same amount of cream or whatever on all of my face, but some areas get very red, and some areas are tough as nails, like right here for some reason. Is that the same for everybody? We don't know. Nobody else is doing this experiment, so we'll never know. But what I'm trying to say is, so many people got upset with people because they're like, no, the WHO, the WHO, the Dr. Zeus Foundation, as I like to call them. We must be in it. It's so important. Trust the science. Well, the fact of the matter is that we trust all these scientists, but they don't show any of the data. Or if they do, you don't see the videos. You don't see day-by-day samples of how they're conducting the data, the experiments. You don't know anything. So how do you really know that toothpaste is good for you? How do you know? I don't use it. I don't use it at all. I haven't used it in many years. My teeth are not perfectly white because the natural tone of my tooth is rather yellow compared to most people. But if you compare it to, you'll see here, if you compare it to the, for instance, the fillings that I've had in the past, when I was using toothpaste, they matched it to my color when I was using toothpaste. And when they did, the filling you'll see in some of my teeth happens to be darker than my current teeth now that I haven't been using toothpaste for a while. What does that tell you about toothpaste? I don't know. You can figure it out yourself. Now, what could you use instead of toothpaste? I'm not going to tell you what I use. But some people would prefer Listerine, for instance. They don't use, because they notice that the whitening, the so-called whitening of the toothpaste isn't doing anything. So what is the negative consequences of taking in the chemical that comes from toothpaste? I couldn't tell you because nobody tells us what the consequence is. But I haven't been using toothpaste in years, and it doesn't affect me at all. So my teeth are not super white because, as I said before, the natural color of my tooth is more yellow than most people. But compared to the fillings that were matching my color when I was on toothpaste, they are brighter now than they were before. So what does that say? I couldn't tell you. Allegedly. So anyway, guys, this is why I got upset with the science and the scientists and so on and so forth. Because if they're going to do a vaccine, and again, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I've had all the vaccines. You guys can go back on my YouTube channel. I was telling people that they should get the vaccine, but I got probably conned because now we know that that vaccine doesn't make you superhuman or immune to anything. Even though Legacy Media was going out there going, if you take this shot, you'll never pass on COVID to anybody else ever again. Turned out to be a total lie. But anyway. So I would love it if the scientists would start doing what I'm doing right now, which is fair game. Do the day-to-day examples on not just me, on multiple people of different types. As I said, one of the things that I have that works for me is I'm quite lucky in the sense that my skin does not get dry, right? There's a lot of people complaining out there. I've got psoriasis, I've got itchy skin, I've got this problem, that problem. I need to moisturize all the time because when I wake up in the morning, my skin is all dry. It never happened to me. I have the opposite problem. My hands are like slug hands. They're currently sweating right now. That's why you can see they're super shiny because they're currently sweating right now. And there's nothing to sweat about. It's not super hot right now. It's early in the morning. You've got overcast. I should not be sweating, but my hands do. The rest of my body does not so much. My feet also do, which is horrible, which is why I feel cold all the time. So anyway, there we go. So you need people of different bodies and builds and all sorts of things to test the chemicals and different products to see what they do. And you need the public, like people like us, especially if these products are being built by the government and taxpayer dollars, like the vaccines, so on and so forth. We need to know all of the data. We need to see the video evidence of the successes and the failures and the whole shebang. That's what we should be getting, but we're not getting it. And you can't be upset with the civilians, the taxpayers, for being upset with the WHO and the Legacy Media and all those other news stations that lie and they lie and they lie. And they say, trust the science. But what is the science? This, what I'm doing right here, is the science. Tomorrow or the next day, I will show you how it's gone on. I will keep doing this until hopefully all the moles are gone and maybe some good things, or until the experiment makes no more sense, because it's like, okay, well, I can't get any further with the science that I'm currently working on, right? That should be the science. You test, you show, you test, you show, you test, you show, and then people can see what's done. But they're not doing science, so can we trust the scientists? I leave it up to you. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully, or the next day, or Monday. We'll see. Take care, guys. Stay safe, please.